This game's so cool. I wonder what games will look like in the future. There's no need to wonder, boy. The future is now.
In Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap, our hero has been turned into a half-human, half-lizard atrocity by the Mecha Dragon. You are in search of a cure throughout this game and will play as a lizard, a mouse, a piranha, a lion, and a hawk, by way of different curses you encounter. What about the gameplay? Well, there are the aforementioned 6 playable forms of our shape-shifting hero, each with its own unique abilities. You'll encounter all kinds of dragons throughout the game. You can play as Hugh-Man or Hugh-Girl. You can switch from modern graphics to retro-tastic 8-bit graphics and audio at any time, even during the gameplay. This game has 3 difficulty levels to satisfy even the most experienced platform junkie. A little history. Lizard Cube, the developer of this game, made a modern version of the 1989 Master System PC Engine cult classic created by West One. One of my favorite quotes from the Dragon's Trap website. Imagine if Zelda, Metroid, and Mario had a love child. That's Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. Let's play. Right away you're going to notice that the hand-drawn graphics play an amazingly big part in this game. The intro sequence is just incredible. It's like something out of a storybook. Right from the start, I'm kind of just trying to get a feel for things. I'm hitting the jump button, the attack button, kind of running around, seeing what my boundaries are. These snakes, every time you get up on a snake, they jump. So it takes just a little bit of getting used to. These guys, they're kind of beefy. They'll drop different power-ups along the way. If you'll notice, I just wasted a fireball. So I'm still kind of hopping around, seeing if I can get to anything, if there's anything hidden. Being that this is a brand new game to me, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'm just kind of exploring. But notice the shading, the light and the shadow. I mean, it looks like a cartoon. I was really worried there that when I fell down I was just going to die, but apparently that's a big part of the game because, well, I'm not going to give it away. That's a little bit of a secret. You'll figure it out. You're going to encounter lots of locked doors along the way, and some of these guys who are dropping power-ups also drop keys. So when you see a locked door, you're going to want to hunt for a key so that you can get inside of it. The cool thing about this platformer is, in that time frame, really, most of the platformers were just kind of side-scrolling. They kind of went one direction. And this one, you're kind of encouraged to go either or, just depending on what part of the game that you're in. So bats, I have found so far, are my least favorite enemy other than the bosses. Until you get to the water worlds, there's some really nasty creatures in there, but bats are just terrible. Alright, so here's our first boss, the Mecha Dragon. And it took me forever to figure out what the heck I was supposed to do here. And you're really lucky that you have so much life because it's a really tough target. It's hard to hit. You'll see in a minute. The game will give you a hint once it figures out that you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing here. This guy's made out of metal. So it says, hint, dragons must be hit on their head. So from here on out, you'll see me just like jumping up trying to get my sword to attack, and I finally hit him, and I notice it takes him down about 20 damage points. And it's kind of odd though. I guess it depends on how solidly you hit it, because the first shot took away 20 and the next shot took away about 16 points. So it takes me a good bit here to conquer this dude. So we'll hang in there and see what happens. Alright, so let's skip forward just a little bit and we'll get into the end, and finally I beat him. So he's dropping coins, and then, uh-oh, what's that? That's my first curse. So you'll see I've been turned into a lizard. So from here, I'm turned into a lizard, and I'm kind of trying to find my way through this dungeon. And luckily, instead of a sword now, I have firepower. So that kind of keeps you away from your enemies a little bit, makes it a little bit easier to kind of navigate through some of these sequences. And you'll notice the rumblings and the shakings of the background here. There's me a key, thank goodness, because right in front of me is a locked door that I need to get through. So I'm just kind of checking my inventory now to see what I have available. I have a key and a fireball. Kind of trying to figure out how to open the door again. There we go. Push up to open the door. So now you'll notice that a lot of the ceiling's kind of fallen in, and that'll come into play pretty good a little bit later. You'll see a section of what's supposed to happen here. So I'm just trying to dodge. I look up and I notice that I only have one heart, and now that I've been turned into the lizard, so hopefully I won't get crushed too much before I can get out of this section. But luckily the game's pretty forgiving. I'm playing in easy mode, and I'm sure if you were playing in a harder mode, you'd probably take more damage on some of these hits. So I see what's happening here. These blocks are falling down. They'll turn into a quasi stair step for me to try to get out of this. And up out of the well I go. Everything's on fire in the background. I'm just looking around to see if there's a hidden way to go, but I'm off to the left. So far I don't really understand why we're collecting coins, but I'll find out a little bit about that later. So at this point I'm just wandering through this level, collecting coins, killing the bad guys, just walking to the end. And so I made it through the first level. These cutscenes are really incredible. The art style is kind of reminding me of like a Little Critter. I don't know if you remember that, Mercer Mayer. But in any instance, I really enjoy this style of art. So the next level really kind of takes you into an exploring area. I mean, just tons of doors, tons of direction, way to go. What I'm doing now is I'm hitting the right trigger, and what the right trigger does is it changes it from the mode of the new style graphics to the old 8-bit style graphics. Behind a lot of the doors in this village, you're going to find things like this pig, and he does different stuff. Right there it looked like he was telling a fortune. So and then behind other doors you'll notice that at the top level up there's kind of like a shield with a sword on it. Up in there's the armory. We'll make it up there in a minute, but you can buy other things once you get up there. So now that we're in the armory, you can see that I only have 13 coins. Cheapest thing I can buy is that sword at 15 coins. So I'm kind of out of luck right here, but I just wanted to give you an idea and see the type of things that you can do. I'm not so sure if you can use any of these things when you're playing as another character like the dragon, but definitely when you're playing as Hugh-Man or Hugh-Girl, you can use it. Okay, so this is one of the last things I want to show you guys. This is an underwater dungeon. I'm just kind of walking around through here trying to figure out if I need to be worried about how much air I have, but it didn't appear that that was the case. I also wanted to give you guys another glimpse of 8-bit mode, so I've hit the right trigger, and it's amazing how true to the original these 8-bit graphics are. It's kind of a real novelty. I don't see myself personally playing a lot in 8-bit mode, but it's kind of neat. Alright, so a couple of things about this beach area. The islands that you're hopping from are, they're not that difficult to get past, but heaven forbid if you happen to fall off in the water, and I'm sure I'm going to do that here just in a minute. Walking along, shooting crabs, this is where you really need to crouch down so you can shoot those low things. And into the water I go. So down here it's a whole different world. There is all kinds of nasty stuff down here. Octopuses that shoot fire at you, crabs that want to pinch you. The first time I actually fell into the water, it took me all of about 2 seconds to die. So, but that's about all I want to get into. I don't want to really spoil the whole game. I want you guys to have your own experiences with this thing. So I'm going to make a cut here and give you my final thoughts. Final thoughts? This thing looks amazing. Just the overall aesthetic and the time and quality that they put into the graphics on this game are unbelievable. And the fact that you can switch from that back to the retro style that was out on the TurboGrafx 16, absolutely unbelievable. I think they have a hit on their hands. Gameplay is really fun. It's got all the classic elements of a good platformer. It's got some puzzle solving. It's got, some combat. It's got a little of everything. In the short time that I've played it, to be honest, I'm really excited just to jump back into it and play it some more. So tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're going to pick it up. I think for $20, it's an absolute must buy, especially when the Switch is kind of low on titles right now. But if they keep pumping out things like this and getting third-party developers to support them and put these quality titles out, I think they'll have no problem staying relevant for a long time to come. But that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.